Boom, baby.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Welcome back to the Bob and Frank podcast, episode number 10. Episode number 10, grinding away. And we got a big one. We are talking about practice, not the game. We talking about practice, man. We've spoken for a couple of episodes about the old four pillars.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about the fundamentals.
Did we do 3 or 4?
Talked about the hockey IQ. Talked about the physicality. Talked about the mindset.
We did 4.
We did 4. Yeah, I think we got them all there. Now we got a bigger job to do. But if you are going to build your hockey skills, question comment of the day, what is your favorite type of practice? Are you a power skating guy? Do you really like the stick handling sessions? Do you got to go to a shooting specialist? Do you just go out for a little hockey practice, bottle drills, little 3-on-3? What's your favorite type of session to get ready for the season? Grego, let me ask you, former professional hockey player, not a big deal. What was your favorite way to prepare for the season?
It gotta depend on age. Get me out on the pond as a kid. Are you kidding me? Get those coaches away from me.
That's what Hockey Canada would tell you.
Yeah.
It's just
Are they going that way?
Recreational, no pressure, no structure, figure it out scrimmage. That is the formula at a young age.
When I was maybe 13, 14, and my dad took me out to who knows what hockey school, a hockey school.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely loved it. And we were doing like stick handling drills and round pylon.
What age?
13, 14 was probably the first time I ever went to one.
Nice.
I absolutely loved it. But before that, I was just like, get me on the pond. Let's go play.
Yeah.
But then turned out I actually loved going to a coach. It was actually like unbelievable. My brother was like, we used to go to Borishevsky. That was the first hockey school I ever went to, Nikolai Borishevsky.
Yeah. I remember playing against his son, and he was an incredible skill guy.
He was. I played with his son later on in life in junior B. So I went out there, and his son, Nikolai Jr., is out there demonstrating all the drills, of course, classic. And I absolutely loved it. And then my dad would say, hey, Tuesday, Bora? And my brother would go, not a chance. And I'd be like, yeah, we're going. So 2 different brothers, same dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Scored a huge goal for the Leafs.
Right?
Put us to the Stanley Conference Finals.
Yes, he did. 93, was it?
Yeah. From Detroit to the Kings. Yeah, 3 years old. Anyhow, we can't just be sitting here talking about, you just develop your fundamentals, work on your hockey IQ, get strong, be a prick, have a healthy mindset on the day-to-day, and bada bing, bada boom, you're a professional hockey player. We got to execute.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to help these kids out and develop these pillars. And how are we going to do it? Question for you, Grego.
Yeah.
How do you structure your sessions for, let's say a young AAA player, minor hockey? What are you structuring in your skill sessions to get them to the next level?
Sorry, a private lesson?
No. I don't know if you're a big private guy, sure. But I was thinking, you run skill sessions that have several.
The private
days.
lesson.
I watched you run one.
The private lesson usually goes, Dad says, hey, can you work with my young spinner? He needs work on this. So you're kind of walking into exactly what you're walking into when it's a private. It's not usually, oh yeah, work with my kid. Do what you want with him. That's probably less likely.
Sure.
Okay, so group session, AAA, 13, you said?
Yep. I said any young AAA.
Oh, well, it's a big difference. I think the young kids to start ripping drag releases it's not close to the first thing on my agenda.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm on a
Never should
group,
be.
if I'm on, probably if I'm on the ice with 14-year-old AAA players, a group of forwards, and yeah, shooting is pretty quickly coming out the door, and
Sure.
I want to see how they can shoot.
Yeah.
Talk
You
about
know you
different
can help with
releases,
that.
100%. But I don't really like wasting my time when it's not wasting your time is a rough take, but 30-40 flex stick isn't moving. It's
Yeah,
it,
it's an uphill battle.
it's an uphill battle. So skating is right there at the start with the AAA 10-year-old, 11-year-old, passing, backhand work. I've been really into the backhand recently. I
I
think it.
noticed that. There's another guy that I keep in touch with a lot about hockey development stuff,
Hmm.
and he's a big backhand receive, backhand pass type of guy. It helps. It helps big time.
I think if you can do stuff on your backhand, it definitely does wonders.
Yeah. Not to mention just shooting drills. Obviously, you might improvise in some drills and skate in and make a move to the backhand, but totally guilty. The amount of shooting drills I've done, and the few times I definitely have, I've done backhand only shooting drills before,
Hmm.
but totally neglecting the backhand,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
yeah. I really feel that if you're 10 years old, 11 years old, AAA, and I start making you use your backhand in practice,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I think the development is really huge there. Just picking up a backhand rim, moving from backhand to forehand, receiving
Anything off the
backhand,
wall.
anything off the wall. Um, and one other thing I like about it is I know that AAA 10, 11-year-old, you're gonna go skate with someone else too. And I know that someone else isn't doing it with you. And you're probably not sitting at home practicing your backhand, practicing. You're probably living right here. This is where you
Right
live.
there, just right in the belly button.
No, not even a little off to the forehand.
I know, but there's still it blows me away when I see like a grade 10 AAA
Hmm.
kid ready to get drafted to the OHL and just the tight top hand, and it affects their turning, their shooting, their stick handling to the backhand side, and it's painful. You can't just go and tell you go and you tell them they will look the exact same when they skate down the ice. They've just developed whatever habit it is that their top hand is just stuck.
100%.
Tragic.
And it's not like, okay, let's stand this kid on this 10, 11 trip-year-old AAA player, stand him on the blue line and pass back and forth in the backhand. It's not like that, but it's more like, okay, let's do some transitional skating, but you're going to pick up the puck on your backhand, or you're going to have to pass it back to the next guy on your backhand, or you're going to have to finish with a backhand shot in part of the drill, or you just adding those things, adding a rim pickup, adding a maybe your drill is has nothing to do with passing. The drill is like you're skating down the wall, um, cutting to the middle with a weight shift, doing a fake shot, and then shooting, something like that. Before the drill starts, you and the next guy in line do a quick little sequence of forehand, backhand touch, forehand, backhand touch, and then you go. Just like I like sneaking stuff in like that.
Yep.
Big fan of the sneaky stuff.
Love it.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Hmm.
Professional hockey player.
I go on. Shower me. Shower me.
What do you mean shower you?
Yeah.
Um, no, I was just saying like how do you develop fundamentals, hockey IQ, physical work, like a physical beast, and a strong mindset, strong discipline. How do you do these things in a hockey practice?
Okay, number one, I always go back to this. Age matters.
Yeah.
If we're talking 10, 11, 9 years old, kids who are AAA or soon to be, competition, compete, because it's fun, because
Yeah.
it forces them to try hard, because they want to try hard. If you're talking 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, if they're mailing it in on a shooting drill, what on earth are we doing here?
Yeah.
But I think the
You're
9-year-olds.
saying it's too late at that point?
No, I'm saying that I shouldn't have to make every single drill totally fun for them.
Yeah.
Totally a laugh with their buddies. I shouldn't have to do that, and I don't. There should be some work ethic there, and then of course there's a mixture of fun. But I'm saying at the younger age, I really think to get the most out of 9, 10, 11-year-olds, it's got to be a ton of fun, competition with buddies, and then they want to be there, and that's how they're kind of at that age where, like we've talked about, come to the rink with a smile, leave the rink with a smile, you come back to the rink, right? Like they want to train with Coach Spencer because Coach Spencer
It was a
made him,
time.
it was a time. Coach Spencer made him laugh, and had me going against my buddy, and I won the series 4-3. And they don't even realize that they're getting better at hockey. All they know is that drill had a score to it.
I'm going on an Olympics rampage. It was started today. Tomorrow's the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was bringing up today, like, who's excited for the Olympics. I was like, oh, I got to do a couple of Olympic events here. Start getting the racing going. Did the relay passing race. These kids were like 6 years old. 2018 Kings kids. It was a great practice, and brought up a bunch of Olympic events, and the kids were just more engaged. Who wants to win a gold medal?
Yeah, someone said to me, I think it was this morning, I was giving some hockey cards out to the kids I was on the ice with before they went home, and the dad comes in and goes, "Keep them coming back, eh?" And I just said to him, "Absolutely," but really I'm thinking, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you want? Don't you want them here training and leaving with a big smile and knowing that, hey, you know what? Like, I remember talking golf, because it's more important things in life. Talking golf, there's a clip on Instagram of Padraig Harrington, Hall of Fame or future Hall of Fame. I don't know. I think Hall of Famer this year, golfer. And he said he wrote a book about like golfing parenting, or at least touched on it in one of his books. And he said, you want your kid to golf, go golf, and then go to the clubhouse and buy them a soda and sit down.
Yeah.
And they're just going to remember that, oh, golf's the place where I go. And when it's over, I go have an ice cream with my dad. I get to go talk with dad at the golf course. Like there's bigger things. Yeah. So you want to build that work ethic. I think those thoughts are huge. Like the kids got to be absolutely thrilled. And of course there's outliers that you could put under the squat rack at the age of 7 and they'd be thinking about the NHL. But most kids, you want them to work hard. You got to go the Padraig Harrington route and make them really enjoy showing up to the rink and leaving the rink, and just everything has to be so positive about hockey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that Padraig Harrington thing. I think it is ice cream. And he was like,
is it ice cream?
Just before the kids get tired, you bring them in and you have an ice cream.
Yeah, I think he says something like, you stop them when they still want to go, when they still want to play.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to read.
Yeah.
There. All right. Well, I feel like you said, age matters. So, young age, and you were talking about fun, but fundamentals at a young age, you develop those, you have an
Yes.
advantage. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty
Huge.
fair. Work on
Huge.
pure fundamentals at a young age helps big time.
Yep.
Um, Maybe you're an older kid, you're capable of developing your physical capabilities, or you've, shot up into a new body frame, you've hit puberty type of thing. Um, you can make some huge gains physically by being in the gym. At the same time, like, I don't know what it is, if your selection of sports or if it's just your upbringing as a whole, but us talking about being gritty, um, being hard to play against,
Mm-hmm.
that's a tough thing to develop. I always, have my commentary in between reps that I try to get the kids to be engaged and be hard to play against in practice type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what it is, but do you want to maybe add to that? We talked about a little bit there, like fundamentals and getting stronger in the gym, but how do you become tough to play against on the ice?
This is competition is the key, and I don't want to really go down this road, but I think that rewarding the winner is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, make it matter.
Yeah.
Kind of the whole 8 place trophies conversation, right?
A compete culture is huge.
Compete
I think
culture.
that's one big thing that I'm going to be pushing with my team, is that there's so many strong players at practice that bringing the intensity to every single practice drill is what's really going to make them better. Yeah, you play 35 regular season games, you got your tournaments and whatever, that's great. You're going to develop from that, but there are just so many hours every week at practice, both at team practice. All these kids are doing extra skill sessions.
Mm-hmm.
To be competitive there on the day to day is really the challenge, and yeah, it's definitely our job. Like we just
100%.
brought up, like try what we say in between reps and the type of drills we pick, how you present them.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah, no, it's tough to develop that area. I don't know.
it's super tough. One to be practical. In my experience when I was a kid, I've told you this before, was playing hog.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I I think it's a great drill. I used to do it with uh, Brad Wheeler, who was a coach I went to as a kid.
Yeah.
Dump the puck in, 5 kids in the corner, 30 seconds or so, try to score a goal. Next 5 kids. And then when it's all said and done, after there's been a bunch of shifts, only if you've scored a goal, and this is where I'm talking about the reward to the winners, only if
Yeah.
you've scored a goal do you get to be in the final scrum of hog. And then there will be
Yeah.
one champion. And then it's like, I can't wait till next week. I want to win that.
Yeah.
So, hog, other than the whole rewarding the winner, the game of hog, one versus one versus one versus all, it makes you hard on the puck, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I found it like I've got to really toughen up here if I'm ever going to touch this thing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Love that.
that's a great drill that you could do in a small group at the end of practice for 3 minutes. Leave on a high note. Kids will love it. I think the positivity is so huge. You're talking about the drills we pick and blah blah blah. Like, but again, like just encouraging the competition can be done. Like, just the vibe of a bad coach. Let's say it's a team coach. Let's say
You can feel it for sure inside the rink.
it just sucks, man. You're 13 years old. You show up to AA practice or AAA practice, and coach is just razzing you the whole time. And Meanwhile, what you want to do is come back to line and say, buddy, did you score? Because I did. I'm up 2-0. Like, have a little competition. Like, I remember doing that every practice and having certain coaches like, none of this
Yeah,
stuff,
everybody does
focus
that.
on the drill. But like, just embrace that. Like, embrace those little things, and embrace, uh,
Yeah.
let it be fun. Let it be fun. Make it fun. Interact
Yeah.
with the players. Yeah.
And last thing, developing a mindset. We talked about it last week that, the example we set, the tempo we have, the standard we hold the kids to, like we play a pretty big part into the way the kids act on the ice,
Right.
and interact with each other,
Hmm.
creating an environment where, you know, creating that vibe that everybody's in it together, whether it's basic things like fist bumps or even having like that competitive banter about a scoring competition, and everybody's in good spirits on the ice. They're elevating others.
Hmm.
um, I think that really does start with the way we carry ourselves in the session, the one
100%.
knee on the ice, the respecting who's talking, the demonstrations, the
That's what I want to bring up to you.
yeah.
One thing that to this day has never changed since I've been the first time I worked as a coach, where I met you at Skate On, the demonstration is absolutely huge.
It's
Like
absolutely huge.
I was on the ice 2 hours ago with U18 girls,
Mm-hmm.
double B.
It's a tough crowd to demonstrate with.
It's a tough crowd. The first thing I said was like, all right, who's gonna demonstrate?
Who she wants to show?
Who wants to show?
Crickets.
Right? Absolute crickets. Girls crawling and hiding in the back. Right? And that's a tough crowd, and I know that. And I was making light of it, kind of breaking the ice that we're just having fun here. But most times, if I'm on a session and I say, who wants to demonstrate? Like, I was on with four kids today, 2013 earlier in the day, and they were just crickets for a second. And then I picked one, and he had to demonstrate the drill. By the end of the session,
Yeah.
hands are shooting up. They want the praise of good job, unreal demonstration, right? Like,
Yeah.
little things like this go a long way, I think.
I love the idea of reflection of the demonstration. You know what I mean?
I love talking through it as they're going.
Our reflection, even just the kids,
Mm-hmm.
like, and the demonstration doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, it's great if somebody sets the bar and they buzz down the ice and everyone's competing with that. But don't you think, especially with young kids, if somebody skates down the ice and let's say they're like screwing up the drill or whatever it is looking a little bit less than perfect, don't they kind of pick up on that even subconsciously?
100%. I was on the ice yesterday with 2015 girls, five of them. As I forced demonstration, as I explained on the first one, forced demonstration. Okay, I pick you. She goes 2 seconds into the drill, receives a pass and turns. Was supposed to receive it with a crossover. This was the
Mm-hmm.
drill. Fired, back in the
Get
line.
her out of there.
Next, and like, just the faces of dismay at me screaming fired across the ice. And
Fire!
and it's so much fun. And then the girls, I say to them, I say to the one
Oh,
girl,
it's
I
so
say,
good.
what she do wrong? What she do wrong? Huh? And the girl goes, she didn't cross over. She didn't cross over. Show him, show him. And she goes, she does the perfect crossover. Then she's supposed to turn. She doesn't turn. Fired.
Fire!
I don't even say anything. And
Fired is lights out material.
the other three girls haven't even the other three girls who a minute ago would not demonstrate have just reflected twice. They saw the first girl not do the crossover. They've already seen my demonstration. They've heard me point out the crossover. They saw the second girl miss the second part. 2 girls have been fired. Everyone's laughing. And the other 3 girls, I turn around, they're standing up. They've got up from one knee. Me. She didn't turn. I know what she did. Like, right?
Everybody's learning.
It's amazing. Like the
Love
little
it.
things like that, I think really is how you can force engagement and have them want to do the drill right, have them understand it better. It's good fun. It's good times.
Love it. Well, we've been rambling.
Mm-hmm. That's what we do.
Yeah, it's okay. 25 minutes in here. We got to show off a couple of practices here. We got to talk about a little bit of. Love to hear your feedback on this. I feel like my mindset with developing skills for these kids is there has to be a fundamental involved. I don't even care if you're a professional hockey player.
Yeah.
It's still fundamental time, especially if you're talking about off-season skills training.
Mm-hmm.
Get a fundamental involved. Relate it so the kids know exactly where in their game the fundamental is going to be involved, and you test it in a situation.
Yep.
I love basing skill sessions around that.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, maybe I could share the screen here.
Tell me when.
I think I'm ready. Oh, is it? It's not up right now. Okay. Yeah, it'll probably take like a good 10 seconds here. So, for example, if you're doing, your punch turn clinic, we're going to go through a little punch turn clinic here. We have to.
Okay. You're locked and loaded here, so fire away.
Not working or what?
There we go.
So, warm-up drill, great time to introduce the fundamental. The same time, you gotta get a couple guys moving out there, break a sweat. Love this addition to the drill, just stopping at the net for a quick tip. But we're doing crossovers in this session, punch turns, zone entries. So warm-up drill that's perfect for that is right there. Now, once the body's,
good on you for not being the coach that says, why are you standing in front of the net? Get in line. Because that was them, you told me, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, this group came up with that. That was incredible.
Then just let it go.
Now I'm going to start screaming at kids when they don't stop at the net. Once the body's warmed up, it's probably the best time. You talk about your physical attributes. Not only is it fundamentals, like some of these kids are quite good at some of these fundamentals. Good drill. But if you actually want to work on your fast twitch fibers, you want to work on your conditioning in short bursts, it has to be at the beginning of practice.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a bunch of heavy legs out there and you're trying to work on their foot speed, you're just going to be getting a bunch of heavy bricks in their skates movements that isn't worth it. The kids are fresh at this moment. They're ready to get some good pop in their steps. And it's a very basic drill just to be slamming on the brakes with a tight turn. The puck is a cheat coach training aid right there. Bought them at the hockey shot store. No, thank you. And you straddle the puck and you slam on the brakes. It forces you to do a very tight turn. especially with the way I demonstrated. And at the same time, you see here, like, their first 3 steps are just jumping
Pure,
off the ice.
pure. I love this punch turn setup here and how straight back and forth it is and how this creates the low posture on the turn that they can jump out of.
Love that. Good observation.
Like when they just hit the brakes, they're in such a good position. You have to be because you're going from speed to stop.
Anyhow, still working on fundamentals, still on the same theme. We're just doing crossovers the entire time here, but in a
Mhm.
different variety of what the warm up drill is.
Yep.
And again, we're targeting some fast twitch fibers at the start of practice. Now, did a little bit more balance work on their outside edges, and again, working on fundamentals. We're going from pure crossovers here, and
Yep.
then landing directly on the outside edge.
Yep. Yep. Good
Good
demo by this
balance
guy.
work. Yeah, really good demonstration. And again, just more fundamental work. I'd say between the warm up, the foot speed, and this drill, you're talking about 25 minutes.
Right.
This is a 50-minute session.
Yep.
So the other drills I don't have on video, but something that we did was I talked about how we want to relate some fundamentals to the game. So kids haven't had particularly that many shots other than like in the warm-up drill, kind of this like skating down,
Yeah.
little bit of a shooting drill, I guess you could say. But we worked on crossovers down or coming out wide and doing a hard cut up the boards. And again, talking about using the same 3 steps they did in the previous drill, trying to run up the boards, and then they cut to the middle with another punch, and they skate in from a sharp angle for a sharp angle shooting drill. Very basic. Again, we're 25 minutes into practice, and I just want to get something else going. It's pretty much been high tempo for 25 minutes. This is a little bit of a slower drill where it's only, I don't know, how long does that take? 5 seconds? Definitely under 10.
And now you've gone from the warm up with the crossovers, and then the burst, the strength training, right?
Yep.
And then you've gone to the puck setup or whatever you did. Sorry, next you did the outside edge, the edges and balance, and now you're doing essentially the same drill you did earlier, but now the brain is on because this is a hockey situation.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, you're still dangling an imaginary guy, but at least you're using the exact same fun. You're doing the exact same thing. These kids need reps. They're doing the exact same skill, but it's in a spot on the ice that they can relate to.
Right.
That kids are just like, oh yeah, I could easily see myself driving wide and slamming on the brakes with a punch turn. I could see myself accelerating up the half wall and doing a little pullback move to create a lane to go and shoot and score.
And now it would make sense if you started telling them on this entry, your puck needs to be in the right spot. On this cutback, before the second cutback facing the middle, you need to be looking towards middle ice, doing some salesmanship.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense, and those things don't make sense in just a couple of pylons randomly in the neutral zone.
Okay. So then I set up a 2-on-2, and I really wanted to force wide drive and cutback. I wouldn't really say it was like a complete punch turn type of practice. There was that I would say like it's an outside edge and crossover practice. But with this game here, I'm trying to force the red player, encouraging them to drive to the net the best they can, and in particular, like a big teaching point was not skating down the wall, which was a common
Right.
theme, and you have to try and take that crossover step to attack the dot line. Obviously, with this guy defending, it's going to be forcing a lot of cutback situations out of the offensive player. And then this player here can support whether it's going to the net or taking a route in the high slot. It's doing the exact same thing. They are getting more reps at these crossovers and tight turns, but now they have to make decisions. They have to calculate their space. They're coming out of a turn with their back to the play, and they're trying to either make another pass or make another move.
Mm-hmm.
I think I wish I had some videos of this one, because something that was very helpful is that the first demonstration was top notch, and it totally sets the bar for everybody else. If you have somebody go in and like do something that everyone was kind of impressed with, and it really wasn't what you were expecting or what you were asking for, it ruins several repetitions until you kind of reset and give them another idea in their head.
Yep.
But for the first kid to, I believe it was something like skate in and turn and fake back, and he cut to the net and walked, and it was just like an individual effort. But just the fact that there was like the crossover acceleration and a cutback move and look off, it just kind of set up so many other fakes. All the kids learned from each other and started pulling off some of those moves.
Yep. And this is the point in the practice where you've placed it so well, going back to things we've talked about. This is the fun right here.
Yep.
The work is over. This is the fun. And is this your second last drill or your last?
This is my second last drill.
So knowing your next drill is just as fun, just as competitive.
Yep.
And they're leaving the rink on a high note, like just walking into the change room talking about how it got you on that cutback, buddy.
Yeah.
So amazing. Really well structured practice right here.
So last drill, I put defense flat footed. I did something like this for defense. One forward curls here.
Yeah.
And the other two forwards have to go and skate past the tops of the circles.
Nice.
And curl back.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's just the same thing with a 3-on-2 or a 1-on-2 with two trailers coming down.
Yes.
And, yeah, the puck carrier is forced to, they could totally, like, I've never, like, told them to do this and they would ruin the drill, but they could, like, rag the puck through the neutral zone.
Yeah.
But basically, whoever's carrying the puck here is trying to, even carry it around the net or buy some time with the curl and try to involve the two trailers coming down.
Yeah. Love it. And again, same thing you've done all day, because they're going to end up ripping crossovers, ripping cutbacks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's great when you have essentially done the exact same thing for the entire day, but you have always spiced it up.
Yep.
You've never just, you could spend the whole time just doing, some of those earlier fundamental drills. More line skating, more agility, all that type of stuff.
Yep. The order of it is so good too, because you're going from bunch of guys crossing over in your warm-up drill. Then you're going to focusing on that explosiveness without a puck while they're fresh. Right?
Yep.
Then you're going to getting on that outside edge with your turn. Then all of a sudden you're going into the zone, cutting back, and then you're cutting facing the play. Now it's going from no puck explosiveness and the real fundamentals of the outside edge to, okay, you have a puck. Okay, this is kind of a game thought. And you're going to see guys with their head ups, adding a fake before they cut, things like that. And then finally it's into live play. So it's not like it doesn't work any other way than the way you progressed it, because you can't be telling kids to get their head up and, oh, by the way, I want you to pop out of these 3 strides. But you got that work done earlier, and now they're ready. They're ready for the next layer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that one worked out well. I was happy about it for sure, and yeah, kids got better at it.
Great session, buddy. Well done.
Thanks, bud. So another week of doing some crossover stuff. This one I was really trying to work more on like top end speed, as opposed to those hard direction changes. So the first thing that I did was I really tried to differentiate lateral and linear crossovers. The first one, and I don't know what do you want to call the difference between these two? Like I was talking about the way you adjust your posture, you turn your chest, and you can see with that puck pull that these two crossovers each way, like it's more of a wave down the ice. And then if you look at this next one, it's just more of like
Your question for me is, how do I like to teach the difference, or what's your question?
or like, is it a difference or is it just a weight shift? Because I talked about the posture. That was like how I taught it. And
Yeah.
so like the posture and the player in the white jersey is one way. Now the posture's facing the boards. Now the posture's facing towards the camera. Is it just the crossover, or is lateral linear just have something to do with the, how do you say, geography of the ice?
For me, yeah, of course, all those answers are right. But for me, the thing I probably find myself talking about most is just the puck position.
Mm-hmm.
So with the
Yeah.
lateral, your puck is leading you, your head is that way, your body
Yeah.
language is that way. And with the linear, most of the time,
That's a good way of saying it.
unless you're just shuffleboarding up the ice like
It
McDavid,
and
most of the
and
time you're
this is
trying
a
to
bit of
blow
a
by somebody.
shuffleboard, no?
This is a shuffleboard, which is why I hesitated to give my point of view,
Yeah. That's a
because
shuffleboard.
that's kind of a McDavid shuffleboard. But most of the time when I'm teaching the difference, I'm talking about puck's going to be here while you fly past the guy. That's what I'm thinking, linear
Yeah.
crossovers.
That's a really good way of putting it. This way, and like I definitely demonstrated exactly what you just said.
Hmm.
And this one, like he was overhandling it as opposed to keeping it out wide. Like this, for example, like a shift out wide and kind of keeping it,
Yes,
and a
that's
shift out
more.
wide and keeping it.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And I've been doing,
that's a good way of putting it. The McDavid shuffleboard.
it is the McDavid shuffleboard. It is the McDavid shuffleboard. He's just flying by people like a 20-year-old with the grandmas playing shuffleboard. And he's a stud. He's a stud. But he totally just, remember these days, Spinner?
Yeah, just doing a
Oh,
quick
what a time.
demonstration and doing the McDavid
The
tilt. My
Mc
hat's too tight.
I know, the McDavid tilt. I had the double tap too. Um
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I've been really big. What I love about this drill right here
Mm-hmm.
is, whether you want to call it upper lower body separation or whatever you want
Yeah,
to call, or you just want to call it the mobility.
yeah.
I've been in the last month or so nonstop with, like I told you, the backhand stuff. Just getting comfortable in a huge range, I think,
Mm-hmm.
is so helpful. So
Yeah.
I've done tons of drills where one version of the crossovers is flying up the ice, shuffleboard, stick handle, and then you do the same pattern or execution, but I want the puck completely untouchable to the imaginary defender on one side.
Yeah.
Protect the puck, especially on
And
the backhand side.
and just to be clear here, I did a opening. So it was only 8 kids on the ice, and I did both ends as a warm up drill just to get some touches going where they skate backwards and make pass, 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 pass again.
Mm-hmm.
This player bolts to the net and receives and shoots.
Yeah.
And then it was same on this side. They skate backwards and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 passes and then lead them at the net and quick shot. So gave them just a bit of an easier passing warm up for this session. After I was done with that, moved into the lateral crossovers we talked about. So again, like puck leading you. And then what do we call this again?
The McDavid shuffleboard.
The McDavid shuffleboard. So yeah, a huge difference is that the posture is facing down the ice the entire time. Even though we're maintaining a stick handle here and the puck's leading it, the puck is out in front the entire time. The McDavid shuffleboard. Love
and
that.
show the verses.
The verses.
Is that the next clip?
So this one's like more of a puck protection type of thing and trying to do the Johnny Toronto 2-step in game 5.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat that foot speed right there.
No, you can't.
But yeah, again, that posture and the puck is definitely not leading him. So it really changes the direction of his
closed shoulders completely.
Yeah. Great demonstration. Good goal too. So, and another thing to mention in this is that like that's a weight shift right there. So I'm really emphasizing a shift out wide.
Yeah.
Similar to in this clip, where when they receive a pass, they got to make a shift and then do their Johnny Toronto.
I like every single weight shift drill to have that exit that you just showed there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and again, we worked on those fundamentals and now we're putting in a spot where it's like, hey, you receive this pass, it's time to go score. You've really got to finish it. And I like the big thing I was saying was keeping your feet moving through the release. This is like a load up here.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys were stepping into some inside foot shots.
Yeah.
Out of this quick feet, which was nice to see. So yeah, trying to relate, put the drill in a spot where they can be like, oh yeah, I could use this in my game. I understand where this fundamental's in use, and then a top end speed, weight shift, and go out wide.
Nice.
Definitely, like I was not cueing the D to, I wasn't teaching the D. I could have blown the drill dead and been, telling them how to gap and all that. I'm sure all of them have heard that about,
get up there,
at least 100 times. But I was very happy to see successful repetitions of skating 100 miles an hour with crossovers, making fakes off the rush, making passes under sticks. Probably, I don't know, 12-minute drill. I let this one run. I did both sides. I liked what I was seeing. Maybe like 5 great goals in this drill.
Yeah.
Good confidence builders for the kids. And again, they've been doing the exact same thing for the entire hour.
What a thought for squeezing out the potential of a practice. I'd like to hear your comments on talking about, let's take this drill in a team practice environment. Teaching the forwards, the offense side and the defense side at the same time. And if you have an extra body, like if
Yeah.
you and I ran a session and one of us took each, that's great. You see that a lot. You'll see power play and penalty kill go against
Yeah.
each other at team practice, and coach will split up and both have a conversation. Um, I've also seen, that drill that you've done a ton where a player goes around the net and goes all the way down the ice and ends up going through two forecheckers.
Yeah.
I've run that a few times where I didn't say anything about to the forecheckers in terms of how to be successful.
Yeah.
And one time I did that, and the forwards just put on a clinic, like you said in your situation here, because I wanted them to.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted them to have success because they just worked on this stuff all day, the crossovers and the weight shifts and the pull out wide and blah, blah, blah. Then the next time I saw them, the kids were begging for that drill because it was the
Yeah.
last drill of the day and they loved it, right? So we actually worked on angling that day
Yeah.
and then ran that same drill at the end, and it was just a
Put
shutdown
on an
clinic, and
angling.
there was
Yeah.
the success flipped. Same drill.
Love that. Love that. I've definitely done that drill before. And kids are just standing there flat footed getting dangled or whatever. And and coach lost his mind.
Yes, I've had that too. I've had that too.
And I'm just like, yeah, I know, but like, you know, we're
I
20 minutes into practice. I really want these kids to just dangle down the ice and go score. I'm not just gonna, you know,
the
blow
two
the
man
drill dead because the very first kid is just standing still at the blue.
the 2-man variation, 2v2v2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Two guys go around the net, skate all the way down the ice.
I've done a
Just
lot of different things with that.
just for the viewers, two guys. You could draw it on Clever.
Yeah, yeah.
I shouldn't even have this small screen of us while it's black and empty at the bottom right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Shout out Clever. Shout out to anyone listening right now. Are you kidding me? 52 minutes in.
couple of good praxes out there. Don't mind that.
Very thankful
Um,
if you're watching. What a legend you are. And I say you because it's got to be one person. You know who you are. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
If you watched this far and you didn't subscribe, no, thank you. Um, okay, so we're talking about having a team of two
Yep.
wheel down the ice, run a little slingshot drop pass, and go Connor McDavid waltzing, shuffling up the ice. And we've got. I love this variation, Grego.
Yeah, let's see it.
I love a one angler and a two angler, and they play the 2-on-2 down the ice. I just found it to I found it to be really stupid to do the old two guys come around and there's two guys here and they forecheck, but if they don't get the puck, you're done. You go and you line up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Yeah.
just a poor mindset to
It is a
have.
poor mindset. That's a good
Yeah.
point. Great for numbers, though, if you got a big group out there.
Good for numbers. Yeah.
I like that a lot. I'm glad you're sharing that. So,
Um,
in this drill,
I've also done some variations with like three going behind the net. Anyhow.
I like that too.
Yeah.
In this drill, if you highlight the forechecking position for a second for me.
Yeah.
So, the guys who start at the goal line go around the net and go end to end. That's their goal. I had a coach 3 reps in after a full day of me working with the kids on everything you did in your practice, the crossovers, the weight shift, the puck protection, the lateral movement, the linear movement. Oh, Cotton Candy Spencer here. Shout out our sponsors.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
All right, keep going. Coach
But
blows it dead. Hey, hold it, hold it.
he didn't
Hey.
blow it dead. He didn't blow it dead. But he says to me as I'm about to blow the next whistle, "Hey, so these guys in the first layer of forecheck, you want them coming in low like this, and the other guy coming in like he's drawing out a good uh, a good thought for how they should have success." And I just say to him, "Not yet, buddy. I want these kids all dangled." And
And how'd
you
that
know,
go?
I tried to laugh it
It's
off
getting
with them.
smoky in here.
I don't. Hey, Wiz. Oh man.
Okay.
And I was trying to. I didn't have enough time to explain to him. Not to mention, you're running it at the end of practice. It's like 7 minutes on the clock. I want him to get some reps, and then I don't have the time to explain to this guy. Listen, my friend, I'm gonna tell the D what to do, but first I want everyone to get roasted. I want the forwards to have a little success here. And you know, do you do that a lot?
Um,
Not that
I
drill,
feel
just that
like
thought.
I definitely have that thought at the very moment, like the last like while. I feel like a lot of the sessions I kind of have full control of. Like I don't have uh, like in the winter when you're doing a lot of team sessions and there's a head coach on the ice, like they really want to like get involved type of thing. So they'll kind of have that type of input that you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and I might in the back of my head be like, yeah, like I know that the angling sucks right now.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah,
totally okay with it. I'm not going to blow this dead and read them an encyclopedia of,
that's right. The tempo. Go
well,
off,
and it's just
Spencer.
the goal of the session. It's the goal
Yeah.
of the session. These kids are going to do angling drills until the end of time. You're not going to fix it because you stop the drill and I make sure you put your stick in the lane and you swing it like
Oh, you know what's
too
to
bad
talk
we just
about
got the best clip and I got a
better.
pink smoke machine in the background.
Shout out Wiz Khalifa. I love it. This is good. Um, look, this is this is the rant that I want to happen right now. Is the tempo and getting off the ice after running a session where you're going to go home and you're absolutely stinky, need a shower, and you were just coaching. And then you're getting your boots undone and you're watching the group after you with Coach Louie. You know this story. And coach is explaining the drill. It's been 8 minutes after shooting pucks around. They start the first rep, Spencer. No,
Hey, hold it,
no, whoa,
hold
whoa,
it,
whoa,
hold it.
whoa. Back to the board.
Oh gosh.
I quite often will explain the pattern of a drill, say go, everyone does a rep, and then
I always let
explain
them screw up every
explain the
single first rep.
nuances. Yeah, explain the nuances. And sometimes it's cringy. Sometimes you might be doing a small group session, and I'm like, okay, here's the drill. There's a this, and there's a that, and there's a this, and there's a shot. And then first guy goes, does fine. Second guy goes, does fine. Third guy blows it. Fourth guy, fine. Fifth guy blows it. Sixth guy blows it. Seventh guy, fine. Eighth guy, fine. There's 8 guys on the ice. They're done. When the third guy blows it, and I'm 3 minutes, however many minutes, the practice just started. I'm into the practice. In a corner of my eye, I can see parents watching their son just blow a drill and me not correct them. And I've just got to hold myself and say, let them all get a rep. Let them all get a rep. Let them all get one, and then I'll fix them all.
Just cool your jets.
Just cool your jets. I know it was backhand. I know. I did. I explained it. I know. And then what are your thoughts? That's the right play, isn't it? Let them all finish it and then re-explain. How much time are we saving? How many lives?
how many reps would be missed would be, I don't even know what to relate to. I don't want to get in trouble here, but yeah, you gotta let them make mistakes. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the amount of things that I hear being yelled from the stands at a skills practice, and I'm just had a goalie the other day doing a 2-on-0 drill, and this goalie's getting lit up. The dad comes to the bench. He's reaming his son out. Get across. And he's standing there. The next goal goes in. He's like, get there. It's like, it's 2-on-0, and your kid's like 7.
My dad, I'll never forget this. I was like a little kid, maybe 10, 11 years old. I don't know why I remember this. And I was at my older brother's hockey practice, and I was watching, and my dad was standing beside the goalie's dad of the team. My brother wasn't the goalie. And he yelled something at his son, like GS, like, hey, Shane, GS. And my dad pokes him and goes, what does that mean? Like,
Go score.
give a S? Like, was that like code for like start working harder? And the guy was like, no, it means good stance. Like, he was like giving positive encouragement to his son. And my dad had seen so many dads speak their kids that he thought his mind went to the worst spot immediately, that this was like, he was telling his son to give a care out there.
At the end of the day, at some point, they're going to have to be in their own head. You might as well start it young. Anyhow, I feel like we're one step closer at figuring out hockey development here. Am I right?
I think we are too. You did say something earlier that I wanted you to rant on, but we might save it for another day.
Yeah, we're at a good hour here. I'm in the clouds, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, good job.
Good job.
Thank you everyone for watching.
Have a great night. Morning.
Morning.